Mr. Rajshekhar Uchal. He is a senior life member of the International Society of Automation. He is extensively involved with ISA Executive Board for Education in India's Building Automation and Aerospace Division. He has a professional experience of around 4 decades in marketing and sales experience at high technology organizations for instruments. Mr. Rajshekhar spent more than 2 decades in the field of sound and vibration sensors, conditioners, and systems. Also, he gained a decade of experience in instrumentation for process control and motor speed control. He is also a life member of the Acoustic Society of India. He is marketing chair and one of the founder member of ISA Bangalore. Mr. Rajshekhar is senior life member of the International Society of Automation. Today, Mr. Uchal will discuss the evolving world of industrial automation. So, delegates, let's welcome Mr. Rajshekhar Uchal.
Just a quick introduction. I've been in this field for almost 35 years, Acoustical Society, member of the All India Management Association, everything. It's been a pleasure addressing people on the field of automation. So what I do is quickly talk of what the International Society of Automation looks at, what's automation, and the trends in the new standards which are coming up now, especially with Industry 4, Industry 5, wireless and all. A quick glance on what is automation all about. So, it's a very fundamental thing, but we're just talking of the creation of application of technology to monitor and control the production of services. It involves everyone in the creation of application. So it could be any individual involved in the creation of application to monitor and control. It encompasses all vital element systems. It provides benefit to virtually all industry, whether we are talking of food and pharma, chemical, petroleum, transportation, defense, facilities. And as an application engineer, or as an engineer, when you say where do I fit inside it? It's installation, integration, maintenance, marketing, sales, management. All of this requires automation knowledge. It crosses all functions. It's absolutely a multidisciplinary field. So whether you're a mechanical engineer or electronics engineer or a computer science engineer, automation is very much there. And now with robotics, expert systems, telemetry, cybersecurity, everything is automation at the production, at the design, at the manufacturing. So everything there, the automation professional is today responsible for solving all the industry problems. He is important for the preservation of health, safety, and welfare, and to the sustainability and enhancement of the quality of our life. Some of the new trends that are now coming up in automation is a move towards hybrid architecture, where you are really combining on-premise hardware and cloud-based software. So real-time control on the shop floor. However, big data analytics, which in many cases is not truly real-time, can be done offline, but we take advantage of technology like the cloud, the performance processing power. These scenarios, all this should be talking to each other. Real-time control systems feeds data to cloud analytics, which feeds data regarding improvements to plant personnel on a continuous basis. Then is the proliferation of big data of how now living in everything is accomplished. But as Mr. Wadhwa said, now you are talking of more and more data, but not really on paper. Most of it is digitized. There is the technology on the smart worker coming up, and all this data becomes the basis for continuous improvement and operational excellence program. The third is this business intelligence, because as we take this data and as we take it in real time, everything on the information. So all this data from the shop floor now flows directly to your SAP ERP systems. And your finance man can know what's the sort of financial implications that happens, let's say in a cement plant or in a chemical plant when there is a breakdown, or in terms of the quality of output. So you could have, a batch coming out which was supposed to be at, say, 100 rupees a kilo, but due to a process breakdown, the quality of that has come down, and therefore your market price is 50 rupees a kilo. The financial manager now immediately knows what's the financial implications of this. Also, the marketing and stores managers can work with their suppliers and say that, yes, we have A grade, B grade, and this is the qualities and this is the deliveries. All this today becomes real time. Also, today with the safety recall, identification, marking, tracking, and traceability is an important thing. All this is today done by technology. When we look at digital transformation, so you have the market environment, which is pressure on margins, need for variety, environment, quality and safety regulations, constraints in capital investment, a generation shift, a real-time customer engagement. On the other hand, you have the cloud, you have the industrial IoT, the business process management, big data, cybersecurity. These are all the technology trends. And how do we maximize revenue growth at the same time decrease cost management. These are things which come up during the process. So you have the hybrid model, the mobile, the big data. You have mobility today on the shop floor. The connected worker is a new technology where you don't have to give the worker a notebook. You can almost get a smart screen in front of him where he knows what it is going. So you have AR and VR for training and operations, after sales service, technical feasibility, secondary sensing, machine learning, and AI, which is today used with almost any aspect, whether it is an Amazon, which tells you that because you bought this, you buy that, to condition monitoring and asset management, where tremendously AI has used. You have horizontal and vertical operational integration, global best practices, traceability, and agility coming into the supply chain. So immediately you can change products, you can change designs, you can change production schedules, all of which were not possible years back. So now look at the HMI. The HMIs are not just for display. They are also the data concentrator, and they run the industry standard or proprietary software and then connect to the whole thing. So you have a remote connectivity is very popular now with the industrial Internet of Things, makes it easier and less expensive to connect a fixed or a mobile device. You can now program it. Let's say a condition monitoring system. You can get an alarm on your plant. If there's a breakdown anywhere, it tells you what is the machine, why it broke down. You could look at noise and vibration. On an airport, plane flying over Bombay will immediately alert the environmental engineer that the plane noise level is so high. So these are all technologies. For example, now you have high-speed internet connectivity. Cost of data storage in the cloud is very low. You have new standards like HTML5. You have a very low-cost a tablet or smartphone where you could see all this data. So you could have management summaries, event log, root cause analysis, OEE, troubleshooting. On-site personnel is no longer necessary. Okay, in the Indian context, it might be, people may not like the fact that instead of running a plant with 100 people today, I'll say I'll automate it and I'll put 5 people. But yes, but in certain places, it might make technical and business sense, as well as, minimum human. Another important thing today, and this is where a lot of my focus is going to be, is cybersecurity. As of now, most cybersecurity is still focused on the IT area, the McAfee and the Nortons. But today we are talking of OT cybersecurity. And that is, I think, becoming very important and very dangerous. So what should organizations do? Defense in-depth methods for multi-layers of security, hardware devices, routers, authentication protocols, VPNs for reliance. There are new technologies, the functional safety cycle, supply chain cybersecurity, best practices. All these are coming up in cybersecurity. All of us who are in automation would have looked at this automation pyramid, where you have the pyramid where the hardware, non-network devices are in the field. Then you have a network, you have a control devices, you have a network, and then you have a dedicated HMI and control. So you have level 1, level 2. This, with the new technologies, is changing, ladies and gentlemen. So you're looking at everything like a conglomerate. You have high speed and high security, low speed and high security, a business zone, and high speed and medium security zone. All these networked and working almost in real time. So you have now a mix of the standards and technology. You have standards like ISA 95, the OPC UA, IEC, all these come together in the new technologies. So you have open architecture, operation performance, robotics, autonomous and remotely operating vehicles, industrial robots, cobots, computing, visualization. These are new technologies that are coming to the market. Now you have ISA 95, which was an evolving standard and is more and more relevant today because all the data from the shop floor comes right up to level 4 and level 5, almost at real time. So there, your technologies, though the standard will not change, but the scenario today has changed. Another one is the ISA 100, which is now the wireless standard. And this coexists with other wireless devices like the IEEE 802 standards, interoperability. So this is another important standard that people should look at when you are adopting technologies. So this has now also become the IEC 62734. It's an open universal IPv6 network protocol, establishes the industrial Internet of Things. It is the only industrial protocol compatible with the Internet of Things, the latest one. And this is where the major thing now comes in. The ISA 99, which has now got standardized as the IEC 62443 standard for cybersecurity. Why is cybersecurity so important? Before we go into the certification, understand the fact that today, if I rob your bank, which is through the normal IT channels, I take $1 million, $1 billion, and there's about 2% or 3% of the banks have this problem every year. Look at the other way around, and there have been problems right from the Stuxnet attack right in Libya, where it was rumored that CIA found a way to cut down the nuclear arsenal of Gaddafi years back. But there have been reports everywhere. There was an attack just 2 years back, 2 to 3 years back, on the US East Coast, where the oil and gas pipeline was hacked. And believe me, that led to a waiting of almost 1 week. You can imagine, you go to your car, but since the pipeline is not there, the oil and gas has to come from the road. And therefore, you have a waiting time of 1 week. You are now, imperiling the entire body, the entire country by an attack here. There has been an attack on the nuclear power plants in India. However, luckily, it stopped at the database level. It did not enter the nuclear control systems due to the excellent securities that they had taken. But this is far more dangerous than $1 billion robbery into the state bank. Now there are new standards, the 62443 certificates ones, which are done by India, done globally. ISA, for example, India can assist you on this. There is the ISA Global Security Alliance, which is a collaborative body that works on people, processes, and technology to address all the three aspects. So you increase awareness and engagement, accelerate the expansion of the standard, develop a skilled cyber-aware workforce, optimize compliance, share threat intelligence and experience. It's a global imperative, and we have to accept that cybersecurity should be a mandatory in all process plants. Thank you.